I didn't touch it. That was involuntary. Trust me.
I love it. Look,
Yeah,
technology and me, we are still
yeah.
trying to get together. So,
No, me and technology, we definitely help each other. That's one thing I can tell you.
listen, Hibo, thank
Yeah.
you so much for making the time to talk to me. I really,
Oh,
really appreciate it. Um,
okay.
I don't know how much you know about us, but we've just started this new publication about women who are making a difference, women who are
Okay.
defying the stereotypes out there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
women who are actually creating a better society for women, not just in this country but globally.
yeah.
And you so fit the bill.
Oh, thank you
You
so
fit the
much.
bill
Thank you.
on every level.
Thank you
I
so
have to
much.
say that I looked at parts of your book, and oh my God, the emotions that were running through from the top of my head to my
Yeah.
feet. I'm like, what the heck? How?
Yes.
Now I come from Nigeria,
Yeah.
and I know that there's some tribes that do FGM. It's not a national thing,
No, it's
but
not. In Nigeria, it's just part of it, and
yeah,
in particular communities, not everywhere.
not everywhere.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
honestly 6 years or any child to
yeah.
go through that. But look, we're not here to talk about me or what my opinion is about FGM. Here to talk
Yeah.
about you, and I know that our readers would like to know why, aside from your personal experience, why are you so passionate or passionately campaigning against FGM in your own words?
It's basically child abuse. It's a child abuse that was dressed for us as something to be proud of, something to be brave about, and it's the way they dressed it for us. As a child, you were given this massive party. I say in the book that you're made to feel that something beautiful is going to happen. Being bullied at school with the other girls, they were telling me that I was dirty. I couldn't touch Quran. I couldn't. It just everywhere I looked, it made something to be absolutely proud and to be beautiful about it, and it brings about you becoming a woman as well. So as you can imagine, 6-year-old, you're telling her if you do this you're going to be a woman. They are very excited. I was like that, and to find out later what it was,
Yeah,
just it was I couldn't accept it.
that's
Not
right.
in my head, not in my heart, not anywhere. I couldn't accept it, and I just felt this for my mother to ignore me when I needed her the most was the most painful thing you can ever imagine. Not being cut, but being ignored by her when I was begging for her was the worst part of it. And I thought, this is not something to be proud of. This is opposite proud.
Yeah.
I got called coward when I was being cut because I was screaming.
Oh,
6 years old, you're in pain. What else are you supposed to be doing? And it's like brave, those who are brave and all, they just hated those words because every time I heard about them, it was like I connected to my FGM because
yeah,
that's what I was told.
yeah,
For me, I just thought, I'm a child, you took the right away, for me to have a full body part, to
yeah,
enjoy my body. You simply put my health in jeopardy. You did a lot of things that are going to stay with me for life. And I thought that it shouldn't be happening to any child at all.
I think it's interesting the way you refer to how it was described
Yeah,
to you and many other girls out there
yeah,
about why this is important.
yeah,
So, what would you say? I mean, I know you're from Somalia, but
yeah,
this is a practice that seems to be cultural in a number of other societies. So,
yeah,
what would you say are the common cultural myths about
yeah.
FGM?
You're going to be a woman. You're going to be a woman, and you're going to, it's a family honor as well. Massively family honor.
Right.
It's a honor based as well. You are told that you're going to be clean, you're going to be pure, and virginity itself, you're not explained to until you become certain age. And in
Right.
my age, in my case, was when I was 16 that I got explained to why this happened. But it's identity thing, massively it's identity thing, and for the families to say it's an honor thing, we are recognized for that. So that was the major thing, and it's an echo among the communities as well. It's identity.
Right. And when they say the identity, for instance, for a family
Yeah,
and the honor thing,
yeah.
who gives them that identity? I mean, who recognizes it? Who gives them the honor? Who? Is it the community, or is it
It
is
is.
it
It is
religious
the
based,
community.
or
It is the community, and in some cases, when marriage proposals comes through, it comes through because this family is actually well known for having girls who are clean and, they're respected for the girls who are virgin and stuff like that. So it kind of brings names for your family. Yeah.
Right.
Yanela, can I have another half an hour? Sorry. Yeah.
Wow. That
So they
is.
it's a lot, and in some communities, purely identity thing. That's it. There's nothing more to it. Just identity thing. But in my community, it was for the virginity and the honor it brings to your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know that you have been campaigning hard, and in the
Yes.
UK here, it was banned back in 2003, and
No.
not banned
1985.
1985
Yeah.
I thought it was 2003.
No, 2003 they amended the law, but it was actually deemed child abuse in 1985.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Oh,
they did 2003 is they made it part of the crime bill, and also they changed the law, which meant 2003. Before that, you can take your girl out, bring her
I
back
bring
to
it
the
back.
country,
Oh
and
God.
then if you were found out, no law was no law was going to react against you because you did it outside UK. But of 2003, that's completely changed. It
Right.
doesn't matter what country you've taken them, you're still going to face the law.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, would you say what would you say you would like to see in other countries? What kind of changes? I mean, which countries would you say would need to have these changes that you want to see?
Somalia for first.
Yes.
Sierra Leone,
Okay.
Eritrea, those are the hottest countries in the world, the most highest prevalences in the world. Yemen, Egypt, these countries. Let's talk about Egypt. Egypt is quite well-educated people, but this still goes on because the doctors are willing to carry this one out. Although it's banned
Right.
in Egypt, still doctors are free to carry this one out. They have to change their legal framework has to change completely. But in
Yes.
Sierra Leone, in Africa, in African countries, I think education, mass education, need to happen, and that has to go hand in hand with the law to be upheld
Yes.
as well. If a country says they've banned FGM, it's easy to say it, but to uphold the law and
Yes.
to provide people with information which comes through education, it is a must. And unless they do those two things hand in hand,
Yes.
it's never going to work.
Okay. Well, let's talk about, because we just talked about cultural myths, right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about cultural relativism, where you have that a particular practice is acceptable in one and it's not acceptable in another. How much weight would you say we should give cultural values in such a practice?
When a practice like this actually harms somebody's life and puts danger, and in other cases actually took somebody's life, that shouldn't be given even a weight, not even a 1 second. That should be something that's classed illegal, hold accountable, because hundreds of girls have died this way, and it's all put down to it was God's will, which is never God's will. It was a human error that this has actually taken place, and the government and all the regulated bodies taking a blind eye to it, because when the 99% of the population is in cahoot with this, it's very hard to bring a change about, and that can only happen through education, educating the doctors, the lawyers, just like the UK is doing right
Yeah,
now. It's
yeah.
educating everyone. Nobody's left out.
That's
that
right.
should be happening, and that should be imposed in education and the law at the same time. But saying because of the community sensitivity or the community belief, we should respect. You should never respect a child abuse. This is a child abuse. No respect for it.
Okay, so there's the power of the people, which is where
Yes.
you recognize, and that's why you recognize that education is important.
Yes.
So there's the power of the people, and then there's the political power of the government,
Yes.
which is where the law comes in.
Yes.
Where would you say the true power
Yeah.
lies to make a change? Where would you say
People.
true power? With the people.
With people, especially the youth, so vital.
Yeah, yeah.
Youth are the vital to this fight against FGM. Older generation, like over 60s and 70s, they are very hard to turn away from this because of their mental.
That's right.
Set. But the people under that, they still can change, and that comes through education. But the youth, we have seen that when you give this information to youth, they absolutely turn against it. And they are the future generation. And they are the ones that we need to give 100 million% more attention by giving them this information, by equipping them what can help them in the future. Or if they have undergone, God forbid, I want them to come forward and seek help. Because
Right.
suffering with this in silence is the worst part. But I think the power lies with people. The government has a power as well, but it depends on if they really want to go and force this. And that for them to do, it comes in the shape of, do I want to be elected next time? Do
Yeah.
I want to do this?
Yeah.
So they're not going to be 100% on board. It's the people, the people that we need to target.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find when you mention the youths, for instance, do you
Yeah.
think now, if we educate the youths at the age that they are, so the age of the youth would be what?
From, I think, from primary school,
From
from as low
okay.
as year one, year two.
Because I was going to say that if we
Yeah.
target the wrong age, we might be
Yeah.
too late.
Yes.
So then how do we get hold of those who are younger? Because at 6,
Yeah.
that is very young. And how do you say
Yes.
no? How do you say no to your parents when they're saying yes?
We already are. I came from primary school, and we already are teaching these children as young as 6 years old how their body is theirs, how
Yeah.
nobody should be doing. It's exactly the same when it comes to FGM. We don't have to mention that things have been cut or ripped.
Right,
It's
right.
making them body conscious, very body conscious.
Yes.
Just like the other ones. And then when they come to secondary school from year 7, it's like everything is there. No, nothing is hidden from them. That's what I do with year 7s. I tell them as it is, no cutting corners, no sugarcoating.
That's right.
Give them and there's never too late. There's nothing too late. Even if they've undergone FGM, there's still hope for those kids. There's still, physical help, emotional help, psychological help.
Mm-hmm.
Desperate they need. But also we have to remember they're going to be a parents tomorrow.
That's
who will
right.
say no to FGM.
Yes,
So
yes.
we are in a kind of, it's a wrong thing to say, but we would be in a win-win situation where they can come and seek help and grow up to say no to this practice, which means their future kids are protected. Or for God forbid they haven't, because they have all information, and they might be about to undergo and say, actually no, I'm not experiencing this.
That's right,
I
that's
know what
right.
this is, and I know my rights. It's all about that. It's all about primary school making them body conscious, secondary school giving them the full facts.
Okay. So if I may ask a personal question,
Yes.
because I appreciate that you stand out
Yeah.
in terms that there are not a lot of women who have gone through what you've gone through and who are being publicly vocal about it. They
Yes.
keep it inside, maybe they speak to their community or not even speak to anybody at all.
It's the most hardest thing to talk about it. And it took me over 40 years to even manage
Wow.
to say a word.
Wow.
It's too personal. It's part of your body, which as a woman is too sacred. And you are going to discuss that. And for me, when I decided to discuss that, I decided I'm not going to hold. No question is unanswerable. If people wanted to know, there's no question that I wouldn't answer, however personal it was.
Great. And how did your family feel about this? Especially since you mentioned that it's an honor thing, it's honor based, the whole integrity of the family is tied into it. What support did you get from your family and from your husband?
First of all, when I came here, I was only 18, no language, nothing. Walked
Wow.
through Heathrow Airport and I was feeling, yay! No parents, nothing. I've never seen so many white people in my life. It was too many things going on in my head. But the biggest emotion I was experiencing that time was knowing I'm a young woman, I'm going to make my own decision. That was the biggest. And also the most thing that was making me emotional was knowing that my future kids are never going to experience what I did. So there was a lot of things going on. And the first thing I did was, I think I exercised my right in the most imaginable thing I thought was freedom.
Right.
Was to go and seek help and get, the reversal done where I can go normal again. And I never told my family for 10 years or more for the fear of what they're going to think of me. And when I met my husband and we decided to get married and I told him what I did, I was hoping that he would run away. But that's what he did. but he didn't. And it turns out that he didn't know how to start that conversation with me, typical man. And I did it, and he was relieved. He said he
Oh,
was relieved that I did that, and here being me, always curious, wanted to know why was he relieved.
right.
What was different with him? Typical
Yes,
Somalian man wouldn't be like this.
that's right.
And he started to explain that how his sister, when she was cut, she nearly died. So he
Okay.
had a history where, thank you, here he was a history where he has emotional ties and the psychological disturbance from that period.
Right.
And I was sitting in front of him thinking, well, I imagined my life to be full of, a whole ball of pain when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Period pain, sex pain,
Yeah.
giving birth pain. I just had this, and here I was, my mentality changing slowly, slowly, thinking there is a God out there, and He's a consolation prize from God.
That's right. That's right.
And it was the most amazing moment of my life when he said that he didn't want that, and I told him then there's another thing, and he was telling me there's always a thing with you. He said you never are finished.
Yeah.
Well, I said, okay, we get married, we have kids. You have to know that my girls are never going to be mutilated. And if you even mention that one, I'm prepared to go to Western jail. That's my word.
That's
I
right.
said, they're better than African jails. I don't mind saying it.
Well said.
But he was like, no, I don't want them to be touched. I just explained to you how my sister nearly died. Do you
Yes.
think I want any of my daughters to go through? And we never looked back. 27 years, and we have 7 beautiful kids.
You have 7 kids?
I'm a mother of 7.
Oh, well done.
And
Oh my goodness. I have 3 children and I'm like this. I'm like, I love them to bits and they would love me to have more children. I'm like, please let mommy just manage this ones first of all.
We are proper African, I could say that. My oldest is a doctor.
Oh, well done.
He's 25 years old.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well
And
done.
the youngest is 9. They range in ages, and they are 4 boys and 3 girls.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so
You
much.
must have a really happy, noisy family.
You could say mental family. That would be fit us properly.
I love it. Oh, that's excellent. So, how did your family react when you told them 10 years later?
My mom passed away before my campaign started, but I have
Okay.
a feeling that she was, alive today. I have a feeling she would have supported today.
Okay.
But I have an older sister who we never ever discuss what I do. We go
Okay.
for dinner, we do everything. She sees my interviews, she sees everything. But this part of me is typical African, isn't it? When we don't want to discuss something, we don't. Absolutely nothing about my work. We
Wow.
just eat and we talk about other things, gossip about other things, that's it. And she's the only sibling I have in this world, so I am not about to rock the boat.
That's right.
Telling her
That's
to
right.
talk about it. But apart from that, my husband family side, yes, they think I am the one who's wearing the trousers because he tells them she's a mother of 7. I can never argue with her. She wears the trousers. He's making it easy.
Yeah, it makes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But it's been amazing. It's been amazing, and they found out that I am a different person, which they say I'm too westernized. Which they say if I'm thinking for myself, and that means I'm westernized.
Westernized. I
I'm
know.
fine with that.
I know. I
I'm
hear
fine
you.
with that.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
But Somalia has been, we have a lot of people that I work with, and I have given a lot of interviews in the national newspapers in Somalia. They kind of think I am doing a good job, but I wouldn't go to Somalia today
All right.
because of Al-Shabaab.
Yes.
They don't like women who are talkative,
Forward
they say,
and and
in the
independent.
public eye, and they support FGM. So anybody who's working there, their life is constantly in danger of that. So, but it has been, I don't know, since I spoke 5 years ago, it has been a blessing. I see it as a blessing in disguise for right now because I do believe there's a reason this happened.
Yeah.
And, for me, to be in a position where I can use what happened and educate others and raise awareness,
Yeah.
I can only see it as a blessing in
It
disguise,
is.
man. I'm in that mentality.
It is. It
Yeah,
is. You're
yeah.
absolutely right. So, how and where can we, so the readers, participate in this ongoing campaign?
You can always, if you have events going on, I do not charge for events. I'm not like others. I'm typically Yeah, I don't judge. I would love to support in anything, not only FGM, any kind of violence against women events. I would like that. Writing about it is massive. FGM, people like you who decide, I want to write about this, you are reaching into many thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that necessarily don't read about this and read
Yes.
the paper, and you are raising awareness like that. And yes, any way you can. I'm always on Twitter, Facebook, I'm always writing. I never stop writing about it. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent. Now, your
yeah,
book, Cut.
yes, yes.
Wow. So, Cut is available on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. It's on Kindle. They can buy all. It's on any good bookshop. So it has been. If they chased me for 7 months to write this book
Wow.
because I didn't want to. I
Right.
kept on telling them, why me? There's other many campaigners as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, 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 they don't talk the way you do.
That's
And
right.
I'm like, that's why, because my English is not that good. I'm not too fancy tonight.
Your English is great.
But they convinced me after 7 months, and we did it. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life because it meant I couldn't hide, I couldn't
Yes.
cut corners.
Yes.
I have to be going exactly that day and mention even the smell, everything.
Yes.
I had to go.
Memories.
Emotionally, it was the most challenging thing I've ever done. But after it was finished, I sat back and I read, and I just shed so many tears reading through it and thinking, thank God I managed to put everything. And my daughters were the ones who literally was taken up by the book because every time I got thousands of words, before I read, I gave it to them because they're read, you tell me. And some of them were crying, some of them were like happy, some of them were smiling. It took them the emotional roller coaster just like I
Yes.
did. But they're very proud, and I'm really proud of the book because the way it came out April, and it has taken life of its own.
God
And
is good.
it's amazing. It's amazing feedback, and it keeps on selling every single day. It never
Very
stops.
good. Very good.
And I'm very proud, really, really proud African woman right now. I do feel that.
You should be. You
Yeah.
should be. I think your life story, the campaign you're doing, and also the values that you're putting into this generation, the next,
Yeah.
you're laying the foundation for a greater future than
Yeah.
we had, in the past. So
Yeah.
you're doing great work.
Thank you so
Honestly, I
much.
applaud you for it. I was going
you.
to I was going to now ask you about, so overall, where
Yeah.
do you see this going? You've been campaigning for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your next steps?
Next step is to convince Justin Greening, the new education minister. Thank God Nikki Morgan was gone. She was a Michael Gove of a woman version, she was.
Wow.
She didn't listen. But Justin Greening, who just came into the education minister, she actually has been an international development minister, and she has been giving money to African countries to actually fight FGM.
Right.
So she is in a better position to understand how education is so, so vital. And when I sit in front of the ministers, I do tell them, you talk about costs and all those things. And NHS now is compiling the cost of, the holistic approach they're giving to women who've undergone FGM. How
Okay.
much it's costing is going to come out next year. And it's another bill for NHS. And what I tell them is, you can solve this problem in such an easy way. Make it part of the PHSE for students from primary school to secondary school to get this information you want, and education to continue for the older generation, and
Yes.
keep updating the training services we offer to the regulated bodies who work with families. I just tell them it's a simple thing. Look at that and look at the cost you're going to incur in many years to come if you do not change the way we are right now. And we have seen and we have documented how education is working. We are seeing children who are actually coming forward seeking help or asking help for the younger ones because they have experienced FGM.
Okay.
We're seeing mothers for the first time actually actively seeking services to get help because nobody was asking them before. So
Right.
tide is changing, and we need to take advantage of that and accelerate what we're doing right now and just tie the corners that's sticking out.
Okay. Is reversal free? So if someone wants to do a reversal like you did, it's free on the
And
NHS.
NHS is offering holistic approach, which is surgical help, emotional help, and the mental help. They're all and physical help as well. They're offering all that as a holistic approach as a woman who's undergone FGM. So they are
Wonderful.
doing amazing. And right now, I'm very proud of NHS what's happening, and it's all down to Jane Ellison who worked with us and listened to the survivors and changed the way FGM victims are seen in the hospitals now.
Oh, excellent. For your
Yeah.
campaign, do you have a hashtag for the
I do,
campaign?
I do. It's on Twitter, hashtag no FGM, Hibo were there, so I do that, and I do tweet every single day. I tweet, I don't know, a million times,
I need
and
to
it's
follow you
very,
then. If I'm not following you already, I'll
yeah.
follow you now.
It has been amazing response. I think I've started 1.5 years ago, 2 years nearly, and I think I'm nearly 5,000 something followers right now, and
Excellent.
it's beautiful what people from even Portugal, they've taken my story and turned it into Portuguese.
Wow.
Yes, and
Wow.
my book right now, Poland and Lithuania, but I have asked to change it into their language. So
Good.
it's becoming something that everybody finally sees this as the child abuse, no color, no race, no borders. It's a universal fight. It's a child abuse. It's for your fight, my
That's
fight.
right. That's
They're
right.
starting to understand that. Yes,
No, well done. So it's hashtag no FGM.
yes. If you
Well,
put my name Imo there on Twitter, it will come out. It's
come on.
got my book picture on it. Yeah,
I know, lovely, lovely.
yeah,
So we have that.
yeah,
We started speaking 5 years ago. So
yeah,
what I was going to say, Hibo, is for women out there who are listening, who are reading, who
yeah,
are inspired by your story.
yeah,
We've talked about how they can participate, even those
yeah,
who are not necessarily experiencing it.
yeah, yeah.
What would be your message to them? If you could say a sentence or two to them right now, what
Yeah.
would your message be?
Be a human. Be a human. Don't. I'm coming across people who are saying, "Oh, it's not my culture. It's not my country. It's not." Be a human. This is a human issue, not a woman issue, as a man would say.
Yeah, right.
It's not a color or race issue. It's not a religion issue. It's a human issue, and it is affecting young children. And it's your job. It's my job. It's everybody's job to safeguard children who are innocent. So if you can do anything, whatever it is you can do, you have a responsibility to protect a young child.
That is very well said.
Yes.
And what's your mantra, Hibo? What do you live by? What's your mantra in life?
Don't be afraid. Be bold and go for it. Don't be afraid. Be bold.
Okay.
Yes. And I always say that FGM happened to me, but it doesn't define me. I define who I am. I do.
Well
Yes.
said.
And for those who have actually experienced any kind of abuse, not only FGM, any kind of abuse, I say this to them. If you let it, you might be going through the darkest tunnel in this world and you can't see your way out. Too dark. But if you as a human let it, there's always a light at the end of that tunnel. Always a light. The only darkness in there is the barriers you're putting up.
Right.
But if you remove those barriers and you see that light, share your experience, whether it is good or bad, you will be doing service to humanity if you share it. Yeah.
I'm so inspired by you, Hibo. Honestly, I'm sitting here going, I love it. Absolutely love it. I would have loved to meet you in person today, but I know that we've been able to have this conversation. But I might be able to. Maybe we can arrange a time because I would love to do like a short video clip with you and
Love that.
put on our Facebook page, especially with when our issue is going to come up. So we're going to have your story.
Let's arrange.
Yeah, let's arrange.
Yeah.
We're going to have you in our next issue, which should be out in October. Now, I was going to ask you if you have any personal stories about women that you've come across in this
Yes.
campaign. Can you
Yes.
share one or two with us?
Yes.
It can be one that is a success story and one that ended in tragedy.
No, this one, I was given a talk in the House of Commons. My MP Stella Creasy invited me to give a talk, and I gave the talk. And what came out of the talk, I was emotional. It was captured by the BBC World Service because they were there with me. They recorded it. This lady who came that evening said she never disclosed that what happened to her. And she felt that night she needed to disclose it with me, and we were both in tears because I didn't understand what she was going through at that moment.
Yeah.
And I did tell her, we can't talk here. We have to talk somewhere else. But she felt that she was in that position. She said that if I could talk about it like that in the room full of people,
Yeah.
she felt that she could talk about it as well. And that was amazing. And another case was a 16-year-old who stayed behind, didn't care about what happened to her, but had a more urgency about her two younger siblings,
Ah.
and said that the summer their mother will be taking them out, and she's worried this will be happening to them. And this is the talk that, so we are seeing a lot of courageous things happening in the clinic I'm part of. Women are coming in, referring other women to the clinic because I am there. They're saying there's a lovely woman. Because it's all about relating to this one.
Yes.
There, they feel very uncomfortable. And you open that conversation, you say, don't worry, I've undergone as well. I have 7 kids. That always breaks the silence. It does. And they open up. And it's like some of them never disclose it, but they're disclosing there and then. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh my God, when I talk about mine, it's nothing compared to what you went to. So all those things are happening because we are letting them have that opportunity and that safe space to speak about it. And we are seeing a lot of positive things. I can share a lot of positive things.
That's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you another personal question?
Yes.
How did your relationship with your mother evolve
Yeah.
after your cut?
It was like, I loved my mother because I'm African. You're always going to love your mother, even if she's awful. But it was like I didn't see the way I used to see her. I didn't see the loving. Every time I saw her, there was a halo on her because I didn't see that halo. That halo disappeared. I only saw was, yes, you looked like my mother, smelled everything, but you weren't my mother. I couldn't pass what happened. I couldn't pass that. And I couldn't pass the way she loved me so much and nurtured me in every way. And here it was, the day that the heart that she used to sing, that if there was any heart coming through you, I'll be between you and that heart. But that heart was there that day and you weren't between me. There was a lot changed, but as the years went by, we gradually started to come back. And the time I think I really saw my mother again is when I saw how she played with my daughter, how she was corresponding with my daughter. And I just saw that she was emulating everything we did together. And I started to see my mother again. And the cruelty about that was stroke happened to her. Cruelty. Crucial moment, stroke happened to her. And I didn't have a chance then to say everything I wanted to say. But I'm glad I was in that stage when that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say your mom and women like your mom were they're more I suppose victims of their own culture and their own upbringing?
No doubt. My mother was a loving, loving woman.
Yeah.
But as millions of her like us, they were bound by the cultural belief. They were shackled by the cultural belief.
Yeah.
She felt if she didn't come me, I would be labeled, family would be labeled.
Yeah.
She felt she was protecting me. She was a victim too. She was a victim too. So they all were victims. They all were.
Well, I'm glad to hear that as you grew and you evolved, your relationship with her even grew stronger. But I can imagine that there are other women out there who probably don't have closure like that with their own mothers or aunties, and they feel alienated and they can't talk about it.
No, because you can't. No, in the communities we come from, we're not allowed to talk about our emotional things. You're not allowed. You're like, what? Just keep going. It's like, even if you lose a baby, you're told it's God's will, just keep going. But as a person, you need to experience that emotion you feel. You need to express all those things. But we weren't allowed to express those things. And our mothers were just like that. They didn't know how to express anything or anything like that. They just went on with life. And for us who want to express our feelings, we were still like the wimp or westernized. You are labeled in names because you are a human. And you are saying, I'm human. You're, what? No, even my best friend who was like a sister to me, we never ever talked exactly about FGM, what happened. Only the jokey part. Oh, like, oh, you didn't feel anything? No, I don't feel that. Oh yeah, everybody does it. Just get on with it. It was just like African joke, like glossing over things.
Yeah.
And it was that uncomfortable about talking about the body parts. That is how much was uncomfortable, even between friends, talking about that. And that's the attitude we need to change. That you can't talk about anything. Yes, you can. If you want to, you can. And there's a place that you can talk about these things.
Thank you so much, Hibo. I really appreciate this. Now, if I was going to ask if you have any pictures of yourself you can share with me, you by yourself, you on campaign, maybe
Okay.
at the House of Commons or
I'll send you
protesting,
some few.
please.
I'll
That'll be
send you.
fantastic. I mean, this is just incredible.
Thank you
What's
so
going to
much.
happen is once we've put the article together, I will share it with you.
Okay.
So you can have a look at it and say, Shola, I'm fine, or oh, Shola, can we say that here or there?
You have a lovely name, by the way, Shola.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And wait a minute, I think you know my auntie,
Who's your auntie?
Yemisi, Councillor Yemisi. Oh, yeah, she's my aunt. Yes, she's my aunt. She's married to my uncle.
She's an amazing woman. She's my bestie, Yemi.
Oh.
I love her husband as well. I thought the other day that her husband was the son.
Do you know that is what we say all the time? He does not age. I do not understand.
No.
My uncle
Yes,
does not. He doesn't
Hello
age.
again, please. He doesn't. And we went for dinner actually the other night. And the funniest thing was, I thought the husband was the son. I was like, congratulations, you graduated.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, everyone told you congratulations. I went,
Oh.
you need to grow up a little bit.
Fantastic.
I love Yemi. She's in America right now, isn't she? My husband took her to the airport. So yes.
Oh,
I love
nice.
Yemi. Yeah.
Oh, you're close then. That's wonderful.
Yes.
I noticed that she's one of your friends, and I didn't get a chance to speak to her yet to tell her that I'm going to interview you. But I thought when I speak to you, I'll mention it.
Oh, she's amazing. She will be very proud. She supports my work so much. And we always meet up for coffee to catch up and gossip. And
Nice.
Yeah, she's amazing, Yemi. Really, really amazing.
Oh, I'm pleased to hear that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I look forward to getting your pictures. And if there's anything additional, I might just reach out to you. Like I said, I would love to be able to meet up with you, even if it's just for a few minutes over coffee, do a video clip with you, like a really brief video clip. Yeah.
Especially if you make it a weekend, I'm all yours.
Oh, weekend is better for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Because weekdays I'm fully booked. It's like my diary is crazy weekdays. So weekend will be amazing.
Well, it's kind of the as you can imagine, 7 days a week
what
is.
we can do is give me a warning like a week before what
Yes.
date you want me.
Yeah.
So I can put it in the diary and then we can meet up.
And then what I'll promise you, even though God help me, being Nigerian, I talk too much. But what I promise you that I'll take only a really brief time, short time of your time.
Don't worry, when I meet you, we don't need to have time. Don't worry.
And are you flexible with location? Where are you? Where do you stay? Where do you work? Walthamstow.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But I can meet you anywhere. Don't worry, I can meet you anywhere. Just let me know when.
Okay.
The time and I will come.
All right. Okay. I didn't. Okay. What's your time on Tuesday? What does it look like? Your day on
Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, let me have a look.
You need a personal assistant, Hibo.
Trust me, I'm trying. This coming Tuesday, where am I? I'm barely starting to recognize this as a needer. Actually, I'm free.
Oh.
So hold on, I tapped Wednesday. Too good. Yes. Where is it? Tuesday. Come back date. What time? Tuesday. What time?
Okay, I have a meeting at 10:30, but it's probably going to be in central London around Moorgate or somewhere. Would you be free to come over to central London?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just let me confirm my timings for the morning, and then maybe we can meet for coffee, and I'll send you a time.
Fantastic. I'm free Tuesday, so let me know.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're a star. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. See you soon. And my love to your 7 kids. I'm like, whoa.
When you have a good husband, hey.
You're right. You're right, my sister. You're right. Thank you.
Bye, darling.
Take it. Bye.